Good morning, students. Today's class is about gallbladder and its pathology. Now, the anatomy of the gallbladder. This is a pouch-like structure where the bile secreted from the hepatocytes are concentrated and ultimately comes out through the cystic duct and common bile duct to the intestine, that is second part of duodenum, and it opens in the duodenum through ampulla of water. Before it connected with the pancreatic duct. So this is the tract of secretion of bile. Among the pathology of the gallbladder, most important and most common is gallstone and cholecystitis. Now the gallstone, that is also called cholelithiasis. The majority of gallstones are asymptomatic, so they remain untreated for long time. There are two types of gallstones are there. One is cholesterol stones and pigment stone, and some mixed stones are also found. In Western country, 90% stones are cholesterol stone, and in developing country, mostly are pigment stone. As the underlying cause of pigment stone, sometimes it is the infective causes. So in developing countries, the pigment stones are more common. Now come to the different risk factors. First, the risk factors for cholesterol stones. Actually, the risk factors are totally different for the two types of the stones. So, the risk factors for cholesterol stone and its pathogenesis we will discuss first. Now, different risk factors ultimately causes increase in HMG-CoA reductase activity. Now, what is HMG-CoA reductase? It is an enzyme that is rate limiting step of the cholesterol synthesis. The cholesterol is synthesized from acetyl-CoA, and HMG-CoA is the important enzyme. When its activity is increased, there will be formation of more cholesterol and increased expression of hepatic lipoprotein receptor. These receptors causes increased secretion of hepatic lipids including cholesterol. So there will be increased amount of cholesterol in the bile secretion, and there is decreased activity of 7-alpha hydroxylase that leads to decreased production of bile acid from the cholesterol. All these ultimately causes increased concentration of cholesterol in the bile and its secretion in the biliary tract, and ultimately it come to the gallbladder. Now what are the different factors? The demographic factors is the Western countries, the chance of cholesterol synthesis or cholesterol stone formation is much more. Advanced age, female sex hormone. So the females are more prone to affecting with the cholesterol stone. OCP intake, pregnancy, these all hormones causes ultimately the disbalance in the metabolic activity of the cholesterol and the bile synthesis. Obesity and metabolic syndromes, rapid weight reduction, gallbladder stasis, inborn disorders of bile acid metabolism, hyperlipidemia syndrome, etc. Now some ideas about the bile acid synthesis. Cholesterol from the 7-hydroxycholesterol by the enzyme 7-alpha hydroxylase. So different risk factor causes the decrease in 7-alpha hydroxylase causes decreased synthesis of the bile acid from the cholesterol. So there will be increased amount of the cholesterol in the biliary tract or the bile with the bile. Now from the cholesterol, cholic acid and chenodeoxycholic acid, there are two types of the bile acids are formed, and they are conjugated with glycine and taurine, and ultimately when they come to the intestine they are decayed by the different bacteria and causes deoxycholic acid and lithocholic acid. Now just brief idea about the gallbladder bile, that is the daily secretion is 500 to 1000 ml, transparent alkaline fluid, light yellow in color, pH is 7.8 to 8.6, consistency is watery. Bile salts and bile pigments are the constituents of the bile. Bile salts are the sodium potassium salts of bile acid, that is the cholic acid and chenodeoxycholic acid. And the what is bile pigment? Bile pigment is the bilirubin, biliverdin. These are synthesized from the heme, which comes from the hemoglobin. So the source of formation of bile salts and bile pigments are totally different. So formation of the stones, that is the cholesterol stone and the bile pigment stones, are also pathogenesis of formation of these stones are totally different. Now pathogenesis of cholesterol stone. The cholesterol is rendered soluble in bile by aggregation with water soluble bile salts and water insoluble lecithins, both of which acts as detergent. When cholesterol concentrations exceed the solubilizing capacity of bile, that is the supersaturation, when the cholesterol concentration increased and when it gets supersaturated, the cholesterol can no longer remain dispersed and nucleates into solid cholesterol monohydrate crystals. This nucleation ultimately leads to formation of cholesterol gallstone, and there are different defects are seen. Actually, you see here there is increased HMG-CoA reductase activity, decreased 7-alpha hydroxylase activity, and different cholesterol receptor proteins are also increased, and supersaturation of cholesterol promote nucleation, and after nucleation they form the microstones and ultimately form the large big cholesterol stones. You see here also there is the formation of the cholesterol stone is shown here. Cholesterol concentration exceeds the solubilizing capacity of the bile. Ultimately formation of nidus and nucleation of the cholesterol crystal causes the formation of cholesterol stone. Now come to the risk factors for pigment stone. As previously I have told, the most important factor is biliary infection. So in the developing country, mostly in the Asian countries and rural areas, the pigment stones are more prominent, as it is formed from the bile pigment, that is bilirubin, biliverdin. So unconjugated hyperbilirubinemia is very important, that occurs in case of chronic hemolytic syndromes. Biliary infection is also important. Gastrointestinal disorders like ileal disease, ileal resection or bypass, cystic fibrosis with pancreatic insufficiency, these are all risk factors for pigment stone formation. The pathogenesis of pigment stones. These are composed of calcium salts of unconjugated bilirubin. It may be of two types, black stone and brown stone. Black stones associated with increased unconjugated bilirubin in the bile, composed of calcium bilirubinate, calcium salts and mucin glycoprotein. The risk factors are older age, chronic hemolysis, cirrhosis, sclerosing cholangitis, severe ileal dysfunction or bypass. Now brown stones are associated with infected bile, usually E. coli. Microbial glucuronidase hydrolysis, bilirubin glucuronide, Ascariasis lumbricoides or cystostoma in the liver. These all infections causes the brown stone formation, that is the pigment stone formation. See the different stones. First is cholesterol stone, next is pigment stone, and third one is mixed stones. You see, in cholesterol stone, these are multifaceted, small and light color, and pigment stone are black, brown in color, and this is the third one is mixed stones. Now the gross picture of cholesterol stone. These are pale yellow, ovoid, firm, single to multiple with faceted surfaces. These are mostly radiolucent. Radiolucent we cannot see in X-ray. And 20% is radio opaque due to the presence of calcium carbonate content. Pigment stone, it may be black stone, it may be brown stone. Black stone, small size, fragile to touch, numerous in number, 50 to 70% are radio opaque. Brown stone, single to few, soft, greasy, soap-like consistency due to presence of retained fatty acid released by the bacterial phospholipase on biliary lecithins. These are also radiolucent. Stone content, calcium salts of unconjugated bilirubin, lesser amount of other calcium salts, mucin glycoprotein and cholesterols. Now come to cholecystitis. Cholecystitis means the inflammation of gallbladder. It may be acute, it may be chronic. The chronic is most important for you. In acute, mostly due to obstruction in the neck or cystic duct of gallbladder, primarily due to gallstone. In case of chronic, it may occur as a sequelae of repeated bouts of acute cholecystitis. More than 90% cases associated with cholelithiasis. Microorganisms like E. coli, enterococci can be cultured in the bile of the chronic cholecystitis. Morphology of the gallbladder. The serosa is smooth and glistening. On sectioning, wall is variably thickened. Lumen contains clear green-yellow mucoid bile, maybe along with stones. Microscopy. Microscopy is very important because it is given as a slide in your exam. Degree of inflammation is variable. Lymphocyte, plasma cells and macrophages are found in mucosa and subserosal fibrous tissues. Advanced cases, there is subepithelial and subserosal fibrosis and mononuclear cell infiltration may be present. Reactive proliferative mucosa may be found in the submucosal spaces. That is, the outpouching of the mucosal folds may be confused with the infiltration of adenocarcinoma glands. And in case of chronic cholecystitis, these glands, outpouching glands, are called Rokitansky-Ashoff sinuses. Gallbladder may be porcelain gallbladder, and it is associated with marked calcification, and it is a precursor of carcinoma of gallbladder. Xanthogranulomatous cholecystitis, where you can get formation of xanthoma, cholesterol crystals with macrophages, and this is also a category of chronic cholecystitis. Now the clinical features of chronic cholecystitis, sometimes it may be asymptomatic. Recurrent right upper quadrant pain, nausea, vomiting, and intolerance for fatty food, these are the most common presenting features of chronic cholecystitis. Complication: chronic cholecystitis may be complicated by bacterial superinfection with cholangitis, gallbladder perforation and local abscess formation, gallbladder rupture with peritonitis, biliary enteric fistula. Porcelain gallbladder may lead to cancer. Now, carcinoma of gallbladder. Most common malignancy in extrahepatic biliary tract. Most frequently in women and most frequently in 7th decade of life. Most common risk factors is cholelithiasis. In case of 95%, it is associated with cholelithiasis, and mostly this cholelithiasis remain asymptomatic for a long time and leads to gallbladder carcinoma. Morphology: generally two pattern of growth is there. Two pattern of growth are there, that is infiltrating and exophytic pattern. Infiltrating pattern is mostly occurs in case of gallbladder carcinoma, and it presents as induration of the gallbladder wall, as it is not the exophytic, so only induration or increased thickening of the gallbladder wall is found. In case of exophytic pattern, growth grows into the lumen. It also invades the underlying structures. Most common site for involvement is fundus, and most carcinomas are adenocarcinomas. Other types of carcinomas are adenosquamous, carcinoid, etc. It generally involves the it involves the liver early, also involve hepatic lymph nodes. Clinical features: presenting symptoms are insidious and typically indistinguishable from those associated with cholelithiasis, like abdominal pain, jaundice, anorexia, vomiting, etc. So this is all about pathology of the different diseases of the gallbladder, and for your exam purpose, gallstone and cholecystitis is very important. So thank you for today.